This episode is brought to you by Triggered 22 LLC, a veteran-owned apparel company. By purchasing a t-shirt, hat, or hoodie from Triggered 22, you're not only supporting a small business, but you're bringing awareness to veteran PTSD and suicide. Please help save the lives of those who fought for our freedoms. Visit triggered22.com now and place your order. Let's help those suffering from invisible wounds. And I know you're a big Swiftie fan. I was checking that out. So
Yeah.
She is killing it right now.
She is. She's on top of the world.
Welcome to the American Grown Podcast, hosted by Austin Sullivan. The American Grown Podcast will focus on people from different walks of life and their journey to where they are now. Now, turn up your volume and settle in for a great episode.
Hi, I'm Austin Sullivan. This is the American Grown Podcast, recorded inside the ColorTech Creative Solutions Studios. Today, we have Elijah Walters, a singer-songwriter. Elijah, welcome to episode 44 of the American Grown Podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
A little background, here at ColorTech, we do photography, Blue Cardinal photography. And like we were discussing off air, it was last year's Cedar Crest High School graduation, and I think you were one of the student speakers.
Yeah.
Do you remember like what you said?
It's hard because I think I wrote it now almost 2 years ago, but it was something like our class motto was, "We came, we conquered, we survived." And it was something along the lines of, we showed up for the good days and the bad days. We conquered through them all. We conquered through things like COVID and all that stuff. And we survived at the end, and we all graduated together. It was something along the lines of that, 30 words or less. I can't remember the exact.
I liked your style and everything. It was unique to you, right? And I think it was that night then, I got home to my wife, Courtney, and I'm like, I want to look up this Elijah Walters. So then I think I went on to Instagram because that's what, that's where you go to look people up.
Yeah.
There or Facebook, but Facebook's for like the older generation. And then sure enough, I'm like, whoa, he does music. So I was like, let me check this out. So we started listening to Spotify. From there, it was like, wow, you're definitely talented.
Thank you.
You are. And I thought if I can get him on the podcast before you eventually become the next Taylor Swift, or I'd like Sam Smith when he originally came out. He was really good. I thought this could be an interesting interview. So I'm excited that you are here. And again, thank you for making the time.
Course.
So some of the topics we want to cover include your new album, Down Low Lover, which released last November.
Yes.
And also your journey as a young up-and-coming artist. Take us back to the beginning. What was your childhood like? Where were you born and raised?
I was born right here, actually I was born in Lancaster, but I've lived here my whole life in Lebanon. And actually, my music thing kind of started around this time when I was like a little kid. So like my birthday's coming up, and when I was like 6, I got, do you know KIDZ BOP, like the little CDs? I got a KIDZ BOP CD for my birthday. And I fell in love with it. Like, I loved it, and I loved the music. I loved all the songs. I think it was, I can't remember which number it was, but it was like songs like Telephone by Lady Gaga and Beyonce.
Okay.
Like that kind of music. And it was like that time. And I was really inspired by all of those songs. And every time a new album, KIDZ BOP album came out, I would get it, and I would fall in love with all these songs, and it made me want to like make my own music, and it made me love singing. And over time it developed into writing songs. I was doing that for years and years and years before I was like, wait, hold on, I'm actually putting like pen to paper right now. Like I'm like writing something that really like means something to me. So I think it just kind of evolved into songwriting after all of those years.
Yeah. So KIDZ BOP, that's where it started for you.
Yeah.
I remember those songs were really good. Yeah, KIDZ BOP, it was just different when you're a kid, because I don't know, maybe it's because the other kids singing it. I don't know, but I feel like it definitely, something about it.
It was, listening to it now, like listen to the songs they put out now, it's like, okay, what is this? Because you listen to the regular version, but when you're a kid and this is all you know, and it's like, oh, this is amazing. Because then you can go back. Like I go back sometimes and listen to them. I'm like, this is so good. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So now middle school and high school, any activities? How was high school for you?
So high school, I did chorus, I did like the plays and the musicals, and a lot of high school I spent like in my room, like writing songs. Like that was when a lot of like the workshopping on like my like songwriting craft was happening. I had a couple friends in high school that would also songwrite, and I would like kind of bounce ideas off of them, but it wasn't really, it wasn't like too many people I knew that were into it. So I was kind of on my own for a lot of it. But
do you think like during high school and you're writing these songs, was it like an escape for you, like to get away from the grind of, I got to go to school and do work and all that?
Definitely sometimes. Definitely it felt like an escape. A lot of the time it felt like I was just processing. Like if something happened and I'm like, I need to like say something or I need to like process my emotions, I would always just write a song.
So it's an outlet.
Definitely.
What age did you start singing, and did you like take any lessons, or are you self-taught?
When I was like 5 or 6, I took piano lessons, and like at the end, like the last 15 minutes of those piano lessons was a voice lesson. I mean, it wasn't like anything like crazy. Like we weren't doing like vocal runs at like the ripe age of 6 years old or anything, but that was all the training I had. And then I stopped taking lessons at like 7. So since then I've just kind of been on my own.
Oh, wow. Do you still play piano?
I know how to play piano. I can't like, if you like put like sheet music in front of me, it will take me a couple days to be able to play it.
But you could get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah. Because that would be, singing and piano or any instrument, hand in hand for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Life after high school, what were your goals? What did you want to do?
All I knew I wanted to do was music. Like I love music, and it's so hard to get into that industry. So the advice I got from my guidance counselor was to find like a backup plan, which is what everyone tells you. And so I went to a performing arts school in New York City for camera acting, and you learn like a lot of things where it's like on set and like screenwriting and set decoration and continuity and script supervising and like all of the parts of a set. I love that. I love all of that, but it's also not music. So it's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like I love it, but it's not like what I want to be doing in life.
Your real love is music and songwriting. Yeah. But then it's these other elements that you kind of have to learn. So what was that like going from little old Lebanon County, and then going into the big city, New York City?
Yeah, it was crazy. I think I adjusted fine, but it was at first like the shock of just like, oh my God, I'm just here. Like yesterday I was in my bed and now I'm in New York City. It was crazy, but I got used to it pretty quickly. I have a love-hate relationship with New York City now because it's like an amazing place, amazing opportunities, amazing people. Like there's always something going on and I love that. But it's so dirty and it's so disgusting and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I'm such a germaphobe and no, I can't.
So what do they say? The city that never sleeps, right?
Yeah.
So like you said, there's always action. There's always something exciting going on, good or bad, whatever's going on out there. But yeah, I guess it would be a germaphobe's worst nightmare for sure.
Yeah.
I will let you know, before every guest comes in, I have a can of like, not Lysol, but it's like a spray since COVID. So I do spray the studio here. The Performing Arts School, you went last fall? Okay, and what's the name?
AMDA, American Musical and Dramatic Academy is what it stands for, and then like AMDA is the abbreviation.
AMDA. And is it located just directly in the city, or?
Yeah, well, it is in the city, but it's like kind of scattered throughout. Like it's on the Upper West Side, but there's a building in Midtown, and then there are dorms in Greenwich Village. Like it's kind of all over the place.
Oh, wow.
It's nice in the way that you get to experience different parts of New York. Like my dorm last year was on the Upper West Side, which is like a like iconic neighborhood, but it's also like a bunch of old people, so it's like not that fun. But it like gives you New York from different lenses, and I think that's pretty cool. But then like when it's 7:30 in the morning, you have to get to class, and it's like 2 miles away. It's like, oh, come on. And the subways aren't running, and then
oh, wow.
It's like freezing cold outside. And it's like now you're kind of.
So you just Uber it or taxi or walk, I guess?
Sometimes I just go right back to bed, honestly. Like
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all. In the music industry, who really inspires you?
There's an obvious answer. I'll get to that later before I forget all the other ones. But there are a couple artists. Lorde, she's if you don't know who Lorde is, she sings the Royals and We'll Never Be Royal. She sings that song.
Royal. Yeah.
But she has an album called Melodrama, which changed my life. Like it is actually one of the best albums I've ever heard. And my favorite song on it is The Louvre. I'm a sucker for like crush songs. Like when you have a crush on someone, I'm a sucker for those songs. So that's one of my favorite songs. And her sound on that album is just so like it's a very like computer synth pop kind of record, and it's so. I think like my favorite part about listening to music is when you can like listen with headphones and think like I've never heard this part in the song before, like that little synth line or something. I've never heard that before. And you've listened to the song a million times, and every time you listen to it, you discover something new about the song. And I love it so much. And then there's another artist, Carly Rae Jepsen. She's known for that Call Me Maybe song, but she puts out a lot of like really good music that a lot of people don't like listen to.
Really? I didn't. I thought it was just like a one-hit wonder kind of thing.
She has an album from 2015 called Emotion, which is like, people say it's like the best pop album ever. And I had to listen to it, and it was really, really good. But she just recently put out 2 albums. Last fall, she put out The Loneliest Time, and then like a month ago, she put out The Loveliest Time. So they're like,
interesting.
Side A and Side B. The music is so good. There's some of my favorite songs on both of those albums. Her sound too. I think her and Dua Lipa. Dua Lipa is like the princess of pop right now. Like, she is really killing the game. And I think like listening to those 2 artists, it really reminded me of why I wanted to make like pop music. Like, because when you make a really good pop song, it is really good, and it's a euphoric feeling when you listen to it. And I just think that's always something I wanted to like chase, to like make that
high, that feeling, that ability to move people, you know? Yeah, make them feel a certain way that when they started the song, maybe they didn't think they would feel. Happy, sad, whatever it may be.
Yeah, definitely. I love Sabrina Carpenter. I saw her in concert in May, and it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen.
What does she sing?
She makes pop music too. It's a little more like acoustic sometimes, but she also has like some upbeat songs. Her album Emails I Can't Send Forward, I love so much. There's a song on it called Things I Wish You Said, and it's like she's talking about a relationship she had, and she's like wishing the guy would say all these things like, I'm sorry that I pulled the it's not you, it's me, or like, I'm sorry that I made you cry, or I'm sorry that it's like, but he never ended up saying that. And it's like, that's like my life for real. Like, I'm delusional like that. Like, I wish people would say these things to me and like make things right and, you know, live happily ever after, but it doesn't happen. But that's like what the song is, and I connect to it so much.
And maybe you're saving it. Taylor Swift? Are we going to get into Taylor Swift?
She is my idol. Like, she is like, so I've always been like kind of like a casual fan of Taylor Swift. Like, all the songs I heard on the radio as a little kid, I was like, oh, I love these songs. Like, these are so good. But I think it was like 2014. It was when Shake It Off came out. Like, this
Shake It Off.
Yeah.
Shake It Off. I don't have a good voice like you, but Shake It Off. Okay.
Yeah. I think that was 9 years ago now. That was a long time ago. But that's when I heard that song. I was like, okay, she's really killing it now. So I kind of like got invested. Blank Space came out, and I loved Blank Space. And then every song she put out after that, I was like, I love all of these songs. And then I became a Swiftie. I downloaded 1989. That was the first like not KIDZ BOP album that I ever bought. The next year I bought Red, and then the next year Reputation came out, which is my all-time favorite Taylor Swift album. And then since then I've just been a die-hard fan. I know everything about her. She's like my idol. She inspires so much in me, and I like look up to her as an artist in every single way.
Shout out to T Swift.
Shout out to T
Maybe
Swift.
she'll listen to this one. That'd be wild.
If she listens to this, Taylor, please take me on the Eras tour. I need a bag so bad.
Yeah, did you know she actually grew up in West
Reading?
Yeah, not too far from here, like in Reading. And she used to sing the national anthem at the Reading Fightin' Phils, which is a farm team for the Phillies. So it's a baseball team there in Reading, and they actually have like some of her original albums from when she used to be, I think, more like country, and then she got into the pop and like really merged the two. What am I looking for?
Like the genres?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was drawing a blank. So it's neat. Like when you go in their little lobby there at the Fightin' Phils, you can see the albums like in shadow boxes. Oh, and it is pretty cool to see and how far she's come. Yeah. Because now it's like everyone knows her. She's making a ton of money and doing a great job. And we were talking off air before we started recording how I think she has like 10 truck drivers. I think it is something like that.
I think so.
Yeah. And then wasn't it like $100,000?
Yeah.
She gave to each one.
But I heard that she gave.
Yeah.
It was just the $100K that she gave to truck drivers, but she gave everyone that works for her a bonus like that. Like all the dancers, all the technicians, all the band members. It was everyone.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is.
I heard it totaled to $55 million in total. Wow. That's crazy.
I feel like more people that have that that ability like if you can do it and you feel inclined to do it, you should. So I think that's awesome that she did.
Yes.
And it says a lot about her as a person, for sure. Not just a music artist that's clearly killing it in what she does, but it says a lot about her as a person.
Yeah.
This ties in great to the next question. What would you say your style of music is?
It's hard because like making music, it's like, especially like when you are independent and you like rely on other people to produce it, you get asked that question a lot, and it's like, well, you kind of get like, oh, well, kind of like maybe a Taylor Swift like style song, or like Dua Lipa kind of like Break My Heart kind of song. You kind of like fall into categories, and I definitely like fell victim to that, like, and I would just say like, oh, like Dua Lipa, and then because you can only say so much when you're communicating with these producers, and then you kind of get a song that sounds like Dua Lipa, but it doesn't really sound like you. I think what I'm kind of like discovering now is Logic Pro is like a software that you use to like make music. Like that's what I use to make music, and I'm like kind of like learning my way around it now, and I think that in doing so, I'm able to create a sound that sounds more like me. Like I'm not like chasing any sounds or anything.
Yeah.
So I would say pop is like a general kind of thing, but also alternate. Like I don't know. I think I have a lot of different sounds that I really like, and Down the Lover I was kind of figuring out which sounds, because there are a lot of influences. Like there was R&B, there was hip hop, there was pop, there was alternative, there was indie, and I love all of those sounds. And I think different emotions in me bring out different sounds. Like if I'm feeling confident in myself, it's more of a hip hop or pop song, or if I'm feeling sad or if like heartbroken, it's a more indie kind of song. So I think, I don't know if I would say I'm versatile in that way, or if I'm just all over the place, but I think I don't know. I think I have a lot of different sounds I like to play with.
Yeah, and you can merge them together and intertwine them. So that brings up kind of two questions. So while you're at school in New York, do you have your own studio where you're trying to do some recording, and like how does that work?
It was hard because I didn't have like my own studio, because I was like sharing a room, and I didn't even have my own desk. So I had like my little MIDI keyboard, and sometimes I would like plug it in, and if I wanted to like write something, I would just like play it on like the computer instead of like playing it out loud. I would usually like, my school has a lot of rehearsal rooms because it is a performing arts school. So if I wanted to write something or sing something, I could just go there and do it. And I did that a lot. I wrote some pretty good songs in those practice rooms.
Okay, so the next question. What's your songwriting process like, and how do you draw inspiration for your songs?
I can approach a song at any angle sometimes, like whether it's I have a melody in my head that I'll like record on my phone and then revisit later at the piano, or I'm writing down lyrics, or sometimes I'll get an idea. The song Love and Attention, I had an idea on my phone and I recorded the whole song, and then I sat down and I wrote it. And like, so it's sometimes it happens like that.
Just on your phone with the mic and everything on the phone.
Well, yeah, and then it's like a rough draft. Like you don't know the words, you're just like dun, 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 dun. And like you can hear my dog barking in the background, and then like I like go down and I sit down and I like write out the lyrics and then like sing the melody, and then it happens like that. Yeah, I think a lot of the time it's just any kind of way that I can get my emotions out, I'll do it. And a lot of the time it's things that are happening like in life, like currently. So I just wrote a song a couple weeks ago about like I was seeing so many signs in my life, like like angel numbers, like deja vu, all of that. And all of these signs were pointing to this one person. I'm like, okay, well, this is it. Like, this is the person. And that person is like on a completely different page of a completely different book in a completely different language. Like, they're not even. So it's like all of these signs are like pointing me in this direction. And then I get here and it's like, well, this is not where I'm supposed to be. So that's kind of like, it's like you take the things in your life and you just kind of, I don't want to say water it down, but you kind of like change it into a song, because saying it straight up in a song is like kind of boring sometimes. Like, oh, you broke my heart. Okay, well now what?
Yeah.
So you like kind of filtering it into like a story, into a song.
Yes.
I think that's kind of where
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
But I think music is definitely like storytelling, and I think podcasts, all that is so important because it's how you get from one point to another, but like making it interesting so people want to listen, so people want to download and want to spread your message, really. Because like you said, you can come out and say like, I love you or I hate you or whatever it is. But like songwriters can really create magic, I think, in their words.
Yes. I think a lot of the artists I listen to, like I'll listen to their songs and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm being transported into a different dimension with how like vivid the
Right.
storytelling is. A song that I think about, Gold Rush by Taylor Swift. Another song about having a crush on someone. I know I'm insane, but it's produced by Jack Antonoff, who he also produced Melodrama by Lorde. And the chords that were used for the song, it's like F sharp minor, and then it goes into that chord progression, and then it like changes to G major, which is like it's in the same key, but it's like it's a different kind of feeling. Like you're going from like a sharp to a major chord, so it brings a different feeling. And in the song, like in the lyrics and the story, it's like, oh, I don't like a gold rush, but, and then the chord changes, like, what must it be like to grow up that beautiful? What must it be like to love someone like you? And it's like, it completely changes the vibe and the energy and like the path that the song is taking. Hearing that it just opens your eyes to all the magical things that songwriting can be.
Yeah, it's amazing how like you said, a chord or a tempo change in the song can make you feel different ways, you know, and how it can move you. Let me ask you this: when you released your album or writing your album, songs for your album, what inspiration did you draw for that?
For that album specifically, it was like there was a general theme, and there was someone I had class with that I had a crush on, and I was like, I wrote Survive, and I was like, this is kind of an interesting idea, like manifesting, like a kind of like secret low, that song Low by SZA. I love that song. That low kind of like keep it on the low ski, on the lowest on the low, and I was like, it would be cool if I like made a whole album about that, and it was like telling the story of like, oh, I meet someone and we have this like secret little relationship, but then by the end it's like, oh, it's over and I'm heartbroken and I didn't think I would get hurt like that. And so I would like take things from my life and like write it into a song about like, oh, you want my love and attention, but I'm not giving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not like to say that all of like everything that happened was like happened with like a specific person. It's like this feeling is the same feeling as this, and I feel like that would relate into this kind of storyline, this manifest.
Yeah.
And it ended up like I would just take bits of my life and like put it into the story. And
it's interesting because I have here some of my favorite songs that you've released so far include Talk About Me, your newest song that came out, It's Time, and then also you just mentioned Survive, which in my opinion does give some major Taylor Swift vibes.
Yeah, that one was inspired by Style by Taylor Swift and Maniac by Conan Gray. So two very like the bass kind of like the da 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 that from those songs too. And then also I didn't know this song until after I released Survive, but Your Type by Carly Rae Jepsen is the exact same way, and there are a lot of songs like that, but I love that. I love that so much, and it was an essential in this song. But yeah.
So when writing It's Time, because that's your newest release, people can listen on Spotify, you can buy it on iTunes.
Yes.
So what inspired you for that song? And I love the cover art, by the way, for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's you in a field, and it's almost like a dreamy feel. I kind of get. I'm a big Alice in Wonderland fan, so I just kind of get that vibe. Which I know it's maybe random, but that's what I get. Yeah.
Totally. That was what I was going for, like a dream kind of thing. That was my friend's grandparents' backyard, and it's so beautiful. I was just there. We were filming something. So
okay,
but, yeah,
okay. Can't say yet, huh?
Yeah, no,
okay,
not yet. But
cool.
It was so beautiful because it was like when we took that picture, it was the beginning of July, so not everything had fully grown in yet, but we were just there and everything was so beautiful. There were flowers everywhere. It's like all the smells from the flowers. There were butterflies. There were like it was so beautiful. But yeah, so songwriting for It's Time. I wrote that song 2 years ago, and I revisited it because I was like starting to feel how I felt in that song, like in real life, like now it rang true to me now. And I changed a couple lyrics here and there, and I kind of made it where it's like the world as a whole is kind of like an awful place, and it's not really getting better, but being able, like being able to be happy in like yourself and like having that happiness in spite of all the awful things in the world is such a peaceful thing to have. Like, it's just so peaceful. And I didn't realize that, because every time I would like try and be happy in myself, it would always be like, oh, but well, I can't really be that happy if, you know, the world is going to end soon. And it's like, but that doesn't matter, because you can just like live and be happy. It's like almost like a dream where you can just like not worry about it for a little bit until you wake up.
No, I really like that one. And, you know, I would agree. If you can love yourself, then it allows you to then love others. And at the same time, who cares what people think? Like, do you like release your music? Like with this podcast, I know there's some people that probably think I'm nuts, some friends that don't maybe support it, but it's like, you don't know unless you try, you know? Yeah, unless you do it.
No matter what you do, everyone's going to have something to say. So it could be good or bad. So you just do it anyway.
Yeah, just rock it. Just go with it. So now, what is the process like to create, you know, an album, which your first album was Download Lover? What is that like? How does that work?
The way that I did it, which I'm probably never going to do it like this again, but I would like reach out to producers, and then like it would be like, what's it called? I think it's like pay for hire. So you like pay them, and then they produce a song, but then they don't get any splits from it for like producing it or mixing it. So they don't like, you keep everything, but you still have to pay them.
Right. Makes sense. Okay.
Which ends up being very expensive. So it's like, that was fine to do that for the first time, to like kind of learn your way, especially when I didn't know anything about Logic. Right. But now I'm like, you know, I'm like kind of making my own songs. Like I'm kind of knowing like the ropes of Logic X Pro, and I'm like, or is it Logic Pro X? I can't remember. Sorry, where was I?
I was just trying to figure out, like, did you go to a recording studio like in Lancaster, or just more, I guess more so the process. Like, what is the process like to release an album?
So I recorded it in my room. I have a little
Really?
mic.
You recorded in your room?
Yeah.
That sounds really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, the first time, like when I recorded Talk About Me, I like took my mattress and I put it over my window to like block out all the noise. But I was like, that was too much of a hassle for me to do. So I didn't do that again. But I have like a little mic and a little like soundproof thing around it, and then like connect my computer and I'll like record. It's like on my dresser. So it's like my own makeshift little studio, but
it works.
It works. Yeah.
Okay. Literally that whole Download Lover album was pretty much recorded like in your own makeshift studio. Because it does sound, like I said, like professional quality. I would have thought maybe you had to rent out a studio. I don't know. I just threw out Lancaster. I don't even know if there is any. I'm sure there is recording studios down there. But all right, you write your songs, you record your album, then you have to pay like a third party to then get it on iTunes and things like that. Or how's
so
that
there are like distribution things where you can like pay like a monthly or a yearly. I think mine is yearly. They distribute it to everywhere, so you can put it on iTunes, Spotify, literally anywhere you get your music they'll send it to you, and you can track it on Spotify. Like I have the Spotify for Artists app, and you can like track like who's listening and see where they're listening from, if it's from a playlist or from your artist profile. And like the distribution thing makes it so easy to just like get your music out there, because that's the one thing, and especially the one that I use, like they make sure that you are verified on those platforms that you get your music on. And that's like the first thing that you need, that really sells it, is that you're just there, that you're on Spotify.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, because it's like, oh, you're on iTunes, you're on Spotify, whatever it is, iHeartRadio, Pandora, all those platforms. It's like, oh, this person's official. You know what I mean? It's not just some, like, here's my, like in the old days when you had to burn it on a CD. Yeah, like, here's my CD, which, again, the nostalgia of it, like maybe some people kind of miss that, but because now you don't actually have that CD. It's all through digital. The phones and digital, but definitely makes what you're doing more official. Where do you see your music career in the future?
I see it I hate, like, I love thinking about my future, but I also hate thinking about it because I don't like get my hopes up and then it won't happen. But I see it going anywhere from like, I like make some songs here and there from my room, or maybe I'll like in a studio, and it's just like, you know, something casual in my life, to it being like a full-time job, and it like, you know, me doing it because like that's something I would do anything for that to be my full-time job. But it doesn't always work like that. So I would still do it even if it didn't take off like that, because I just love making music. But as long as I get to make music in the future, I think I'll be okay.
So if you were more of a songwriter, you'd be okay with that, but you want to be a singer.
I want to sing the songs that I write, because I feel like that's like, I feel
It's
like when
part
I
of
write
you,
a song,
right?
it's like I'm trying to say something. Like I need to get something off my chest, and I feel like writing a song and then giving it to someone else is like, I'm letting them get it off my chest. It's too many. It's okay.
I'm big in believing that if you put it out into the universe, kind of manifest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So going back to that graduation and then listening to your music with my wife, I'm like, you're going places, I feel like. And I want to put it out there. I truly believe one day, we'll be seeing you on TV. You'll be filling stadiums, which I know sounds crazy, but like if you put it out there, I believe that's the best way to make it happen. Because if you keep it to yourself, no one knows what your goals, what your dreams are. So it's like, put it out into the world. So that's my opinion. I think in a couple of years, you'll be one of the top up and coming artists.
Hopefully. I mean, that would be the dream. I always think about like, if I would like went on a world tour, maybe not in a stadium, maybe in like an arena or something smaller, but like, I think that would be so fun just to like look out into like a crowd of people and like interact with them, and like, they're there to see you, and like that feeling is like, oh my God, like I'm gonna put on a show for you. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be wild. I'm looking forward to watching, because like I said, I truly believe that if you put it out into the universe and you chase after it, and you're taking the proper steps, anything's possible.
Anything is possible. I need to hold on to that.
Who are some of the mentors that have helped you along the way?
So in elementary school, she was my music teacher, and then in high school, she was my course teacher, Mrs. Rochet at Cedar Crest. She is like my everything music in my life. That was like when I was a kid and I was listening to KIDZ BOP. The only like other music thing I had was music class, and like she taught me that. And I remember in 3rd grade, there was a big line, like it was like a timeline of like musicians from like maybe the 1500s to like, I think I was in 3rd grade in 2012. It was like composers like Mozart and all those things. And then you get to like Elvis. So like the whole year, it was like you learn about this person. And then like by the time you got to Elvis, and then you learn about like, like Stevie Wonder. And then you learn about like Madonna. And then you learn about, and then we got to Michael Jackson. And, well, actually, I remember now. She was going for like the kings and queens of music. So every class would be like a different person we would learn about. And by the end, the kings and queens were Michael Jackson was the king of pop, and Lady Gaga was the queen of pop music. And that's where we ended. And I held on to that for so long, because like Lady Gaga was someone that she terrified me as a kid, because she always had those wigs on. And I was like, I never knew how like wigs worked, because I'm like, I thought it was like her real hair. I was like, that scared me, because I'm like, in this one shot, her hair was so short, and then the next shot, it was like all the way down. I'm like, now hold on,
like Rapunzel. It's like, what's going on here?
And it was like, because then it was blue, and then it was pink, and then I was like, I'm lost. But I thought Lady Gaga was so inspiring, and to see the timeline of all those artists, and then to be like Lady Gaga, and then to see even now, like there's still people like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, like Ariana Grande, like all these big names that have come after that, and there's still the timeline will forever go on. So I think that was just always inspired me to like, there's always going to be new music, there's always going to be new people, there's always going to be a place for new music.
Your family, they support? They're like, go for it.
I played, I think it was Talk About Me for my grandma, and at first, when I was telling her, she was like, are you sure? Like, this is what you want to do? And I was like, oh, yeah. And then I played her the song, and she was like, yeah, do that.
Yes. I'm telling you, grandparents know. Like, and they don't BS. They don't hold, like, if it's not good, they would be like, you might want to reconsider. I feel like as you get older, there's no filter. You just tell the truth.
Just be honest.
Yeah, you just be honest. Exactly. So now, what would you say motivates you to be the best version of yourself?
I would say just like, I always want to be someone that people want to be around. So I always like try and like, I always like be like, oh, like I was trying to like make myself like fun for the party, if that makes sense. Like I always like,
I feel like you have positive energy. Like you're definitely not a downer. Like you walk into a room and immediately you can strike up a conversation.
I'll always try to be like talking or like, being fun or being funny. I always try to be that, and always like try and make people feel like comfortable and like.
What would you say you're most passionate about?
Well, I mean, I love music. I love just music in general. Like, I love, I guess it's just music, because I'm thinking like that's how I spend a lot of my time, like whether it's listening to it, writing it, or on like Twitter talking about it with people. Is I just everything music, like the whole industry, like the business side of it too. I just love the way that it works, the way that everything is. I love even in the film industry too. Like I love writing, like screenwriting, and I love all that stuff, and I love like the business side of that too. I think just that industry is just, I love it.
Perfect. And did you bring some items with you?
I did.
Yeah, here you can put them on the table here.
Okay, so I have
T Swift right there.
So I have my favorite album of all time, Reputation by Taylor Swift, on CD. I'm starting a CD collection because vinyls are coming back into style. So it'll only be a matter of time before CDs come back into style too. So I'm getting ahead of the game.
Yes.
Yes.
That's great. Yeah.
But this is my favorite album of all time. This was the first Taylor Swift album I listened to upon release. Like, this was the first album I was like a stan for. And I went to the tour. This was the first concert I've ever been to. And I went to the concert, and it changed my life. Every night she did a surprise song, and our seats were right next to one of like the side stages. So like there was like a main stage, and then there were like two side stages like out in the on the other side of the stadium. And like our seats were right next to one of the side stages, and she sang a surprise song, and she was facing in my direction, like making eye contact, like I was looking at Taylor Swift and she was looking at me, and she sang my all-time favorite song, State of Grace. Wow. And I cried. Like, it was a crazy experience, and I knew forever that like, and this album just means a lot to me, because like I always kind of feel like I'm a very anxious person. Like, the anxiety in my head is like needs to be studied, but I always feel like people are judging me, or like, you know, have something to say, or something negative to say, or that I've like built up this bad reputation for myself. And like this album really kind of helps me realize like people are going to say what they're going to say, and no matter what you do, you're going to be the topic of discussion. So you might as well just live your life, and the people that know you for you know that you're not those things that people make you out to be. And that's what this album really shows me. And the foreword that she wrote for it is so beautiful and explains it perfectly, and it's my favorite album of all time. I've said it a million times.
Yeah. It's your favorite album for sure.
Yeah. And then
and you brought a book. Yeah.
This is my original songwriting journal. So like in the back, this is like where I would write all the songs that I wrote in like middle school and the beginning of high school. Yeah, but they're not good, but they're here.
But you started, yeah.
Yeah. Now I've evolved to I guess I devolved to my notes app now, because I mean I feel like that's less like a songwriting journal versus your notes app. Like, okay, but this is where it all started, really. And sometimes like some of these I like look back, I'm like, okay, this was kind of good. I just think it's like a cute little like this is where it all started for real. Like like writing, like, because I feel like singing, like I can carry a tune, but I'm not like Beyonce, you know what I mean? But like songwriting is something special to me, because I feel like everyone songwrites differently, and this is how I do it, and this is how it started.
They're you. It makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're great fits. How can our listeners connect with you and follow along on your journey?
I am like everywhere. I'm on social media. I'm on social media. I'm on like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm on Instagram and TikTok at Elijah Walters Music. Twitter is I think Elijah Walters 14. And I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, all of those things, like just Elijah Walters. And yeah, I mean, I'm pretty active on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. I'm active everywhere. And I make playlists on Spotify if you want to see what kind of music I'm listening to. Well, I need to update my playlist because it's my Songs of the Summer playlist, and the summer is almost over.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's crazy. All my friends are moving away for school, and I'm like, wow, I still have 2 months here before I go back to New York. But follow me on like Spotify, Instagram. Those are like the main places where I update for music and things like that if you want to follow along.
Perfect. And did I see, I don't know if it was something on social media, I think it was last night or two. Do you have like a apparel?
Oh,
like
yes,
a website?
yes.
Yeah, I think I just saw that recently.
Me and my friend Avery were designing some merch for like the last like 9 or so months, and we're finally like putting it out, and I think it looks so cool. I have to make a couple tweaks to like the website and some of the designs, but the store goes live on Monday.
Okay.
Well,
Wow.
On August 21st.
Thank you.
Yes,
Okay.
on August 21st, that's when the store goes live. So I will be very excited. I think a lot of the designs are for Down the Lover because like that's what we were designing for, and then It's Time just came out. But I think a lot of the designs are so cool. And Avery, my friend, she did such a good job on them.
So I think like a bucket hat, regular like, baseball cap, maybe some sweatshirts or things like that.
Yeah, and so the website I use is like Redbubble or something. Yeah, Redbubble. So it's like you can like basically take the design and put it like anywhere you want. Like you can put it on a sweatshirt or put it on a t-shirt or put it on a hat. You know, there are multiple different options, and I think that's so cool because it gives you can pick any colors. You can. You know,
wow!
So it's like
very customizable.
Yeah.
Cool. Before we close out, is there anything else you'd like the listeners to know?
I do want to talk a little bit about the new song I put out called It's Time. It talks about the end of the world. Like that's kind of like the theme I'm going for right now, like the end of the world. I've been seeing, I talk a lot about signs. Like I'm a very like the universe, like signs, that kind of person. And I've been seeing a lot of signs like the world is ending, not like tomorrow, but like in the next like couple of decades, the world will end. And I'm working on the idea through songwriting of like in the like inevitable end of the world, can you really feel like you're out of time? Because something I really struggle with is feeling like I'm out of time. Like I need to get this done by this. I need to do this by this. I need to find success and I need to be successful by now, or I need to do this by then. I need to graduate by this, and to keep up with everyone or to do this, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so what if the world ends? Are you almost out of time to do all that stuff when the world is going to end? Like, and I kind of think of it like that really like relieves a lot of the stress I have, because I kill myself over deadlines. But then when you have the most like deadline ever, can you really like, does any of it really matter at the end of the day? And that's kind of what I'm thinking about. That's kind of where the direction I'm going in right now. And that's kind of where a lot of my music is kind of being inspired from. So,
oh, that's deep. Wow. It gets me thinking, because do you really need to keep up with the Joneses, or, do those deadlines really matter if the world were to end tomorrow? Like it puts things in perspective, like what's important to you.
Yeah. And I check myself a lot, and I'll like put myself into perspective. Like I'm me, but also like I'll think about the Earth. The Earth is massive, and then I'll think about Mars, and then I'll think about Saturn. I don't know the next one, but like the solar system, and then the universe, and then I'm like, okay, like I think my problem, like my day, is a little like it puts my day into perspective when you think about it like that. And sometimes when you do that too much, it's like a little bit like belittling to your problems, because your problems are still valid. Just even when the world is big, your problems are still valid. But sometimes when it gets too crazy and you're drowning out in all of your life, it kind of like calms you down to think of like, I'm really just on a rock in space. Like it was never that serious.
Yeah.
So
and there's highs and lows, and it's kind of like a roller coaster, or like if you're into surfing, it's like riding a wave. You don't want to get too high, but you don't want to get too low. And so let me ask you this: some of the signs, like this is totally off topic, I feel like, but I like it because I feel like it's not. What are some of the signs you see that makes you think the world may end? And do you believe in aliens? And I'll say yes, I believe in aliens, because the universe, the galaxy, like it's so big out there.
Aliens are so real. They're
I think
so real.
Yeah.
Definitely. There are straight up signs. Like on Twitter, people say the world is going to end all the time. Like the world is ending, the world is ending, the world is ending.
I know, yeah.
But I have a feeling where it's just like the way the last couple of years have been going, like things like COVID. Actually, I had this thought. I heard that the first 7 years of anyone's life is like, you live that, and then that's what you accept as true. So like the first 7 years of my life, like the way that life was, that's just life. And now that like COVID happened, it's like, okay, like this is different, but like what we're in now is life. Whereas like kids that grew up and they were like young enough to be under 7 during COVID, like that's what life is to them. Like that's kind of normal for them. I didn't like realize that until like I just had that thought. And I think that's a sign that it's like things are shifting, whereas like the younger generations don't know what normal life is anymore.
Yeah.
And even we don't, like I don't know what normal life is.
I see what you're saying.
I think like a phone, like that didn't exist 20 years ago. And it's like there was a completely different way of life 20 years ago before phones. And I don't know that because I'm not I wasn't around.
Yeah.
And then in like when these kids that were like little kids during COVID grow up, things are going to be completely different. And I don't know, I feel like the direction we're going in is we're like making so much stuff, and we're just like, there's only a matter of time before all of it backfires. Now,
Yeah.
I think I've just like conspiracy theory, like going crazy. But I was talking to my friend about it the other day, and it was making a lot of sense, where it's like, we're almost out of time.
Yeah. We consume so much, and it's so different. I mean, gosh, back when I was little, 1991, I was born, every house had a phone on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like nobody, know.
I was at school, and I was talking to my friends, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, like my home phone number. And they're like, you have a home phone? I'm like, you don't have a home phone?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Oh, yes. Oh, right. Back then, yeah. Now it's like, I don't know anybody that has a home phone anymore.
It's
But,
like
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And with smartphones and the technology, like you said, how it's advancing so rapidly, you got AI, you got Siri, Alexa, all that. And, oh, geez, it just went. Siri just went. I thought I did that quietly enough. The ability to consume so much media and be so up to date on the news and things like that, or current world events, not even the news so much, because I feel like they are behind. And sometimes I feel like Twitter, which I guess is now X, and TikTok, you can get more relative information from social medias
Right.
than you can from news.
And it's sometimes it's scary to think about it like that, because you can get information like that, but then it's like, well, who's to say that information is correct?
Right.
And it's
yeah.
like, so who, like, and maybe that's what they just want you to know. Like, that's what the public or the people in charge want the public to know. Maybe you're being fed this incorrect information and you don't even know. And it's crazy how fast we gloss over things. Like, recently someone I don't know, I think it was something like with Congress, it was a committee talking about aliens, and they basically confirmed that aliens exist and that we have spacecrafts. And the internet glossed over it in like a day. Like, everyone was like, no one cares. Like gas is like $5. Like,
Right.
I don't have any money. I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think that we're just on such a level of like, we need to focus on like this life, that there could be an alien in the sky and we don't care. So
Right.
like, what does that say?
It's crazy to think about, because I remember, you're right. That did just recently get announced through Congress or the Senate or whatever, or they had some kind of hearing, and they're like, aliens, pretty much they said aliens are real, and, we have their craft and things like that, and it's like, no one seemed to care.
Right. Back to like the world ending. Like, if people don't care about that, like, and not even that they don't care, it's just that you forget about it. Because I completely forgot about that too.
Yeah.
And it's like all these things you just forget about, because there's so many things in your individual personal life that you need to take account for. But like, you forget all these things, and next thing you know, oh, the world is actually ending. And you like all these signs you just completely forgot until.
And you're out of time.
Yeah.
Let me ask this before we close out, Elijah. Would you be willing to do like an acoustic of just like one of your songs or something?
Oh, like right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like a favorite, or do you want something like unreleased, or did you mean like
Wait, like an exclusive, like a first?
exclusive? I mean, sure. I would need to think about which song I want to do.
I don't know. I just thought maybe that would be cool. I mean, these are pretty good mics. I never had someone actually sing into them for like 30 seconds or anything. So
Okay.
or you could do Survive or whatever. I mean, whatever you want to do.
Okay, so we've been talking about the end of the world, and this is a song that I wrote about. It's like a persuasive essay, but it's like to someone that you want to be friends with, and your main point for persuasion is like, the world is ending. The end of the world. So it was like a persuasive essay talking about like, I want to be friends with this guy, but we're like very different people. And it's like kind of using, the world is going to end. Listen, like, there's no reason why we can't just like sit back, light up and just have a good time for the end of the world. And it's kind of like using that, what happened in New York, because I was in New York when it was like the wildfires and everything was orange.
Oh,
like,
you were there?
I was there for that.
Whoa, what was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like, real quick?
It was
talk about end of the
crazy.
world.
Me and my friends, it was between classes. We went to go get food, and it was like, we went out, it was gray, it was kind of like foggy, and then by the time we went back in, it was orange. Like, we were outside that whole time, and it got so bad we needed to go to an urgent care to get masks, because like, you're just breathing it in, and then you got a sore throat because it was like toxic. Wow. It's awful. But from the inside, it looked like if you've ever like had a filter on like a picture and it like made everything super orange. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like, the pictures were not exaggerated. It was so orange. I couldn't even believe it. But so that happened. And so this song is called Summer Girl, and it's basically saying like, Let me sing it and then I'll explain it. But
Okay.
it was like, the sun's burning up all the light kids and kissing the girls with braids in. And the water is rough like the world is. We don't mind it, so we'll jump right in. Oh, can't you taste it? The poison sky, it's the end of the world. No need to waste it, you'll be the sunshine, I'll be your summer girl. So that summer girl, it's kind of like saying, if the sky is going to be poison, if the world is going to end, let's make the best out of a bad situation. So in a poison sky, you be the sunshine, and then I'll be the summer girl. It's like the sunshine and the summer, like they're best friends. It's like summer girl is nothing without the sunshine, and the sunshine thrives off of the summer girl, and that connection is what brings them together in the end of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's like, I really like that song, and hopefully I'll be able to like make it and put it out. But that's like when I talk about the end of the world, that's kind of like the theme I'm going for. That's kind of like what comes to mind.
That's the vibe. So wow, so that's unreleased. That's a little
unreleased little
taste.
snippet.
Yeah.
That song was kind of inspired by Lorde, her album Solar Power.
Okay.
I love that album. It's kind of giving acoustic guitar, kind of like lots of like indie. That album is very much like vibes of like beach, weed, and just like
I got that like
good
chill,
energy. Yeah, that
chill, good energy.
Yeah, and that's kind of what that song is giving. The one line in the song, and Summer Girl is like, "Is that sativa in the breeze? They're cutting down all the trees. Let's get green." I think that's so funny. That's Summer
cool.
Girl.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then that gives all listeners a little taste of like I said, I think you're very talented, and you definitely have the voice and the capability for it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see your journey. I'll be following along on social media. Anything else before I wrap it up?
I think that's everything. Thank you
Perfect.
so much for having me. This is that's the first time I've ever done something like this, like an interview or anything. So this is really cool.
I was the first American Grown podcast.
Yep.
And you did phenomenal. Calm, cool, collected.
I feel like I was rambling on for too long sometimes.
No, you did great. Elijah Walters, singer, songwriter on the American Grown podcast in the ColorTech Creative Solutions Studios. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
To see photos of today's guests and more content, just search American Grown Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review.
If you'd like to be a featured guest on the podcast, please direct message or email Austin at americangrownpod@gmail.com.